Okay, so I decided to get into Modular again. It's not my first time with Modular. I actually had a Eurorack setup some years ago, but it was a mess. I just bought modules pretty randomly, not really knowing what I wanted to do with it, and it wasn't good. It wasn't useful. I didn't really make that much music with it. Eventually I just sold it and bought some semi-modulars and things like that. Now I decided I want to do it again, but this time with a purpose. So let's go through with what I thought I would do this time. I have a plan here. So this was my original plan. I want a compact setup, so I went 2 times 62 HB, I think. Yeah. So I want to limit myself because I want a purpose-built modular that is compact, easy to carry around, and I want it to do a specific thing, and I want it to do generative ambient. That's been my jam lately, really. So it's like you can do generative ambient with like 1 voice easily. 2 is plenty, but I still kind of want a 3 because I want options, and 3 voices in a 2 times 62 HB it's asking a lot, but there's so many small modules nowadays that it's easy. So I wanted 3 voices. I started with plates because that's like the go-to. It's really versatile, does a lot of things, tried and true, everyone loves it. And then I wanted to try the qubit surface as the other one. It's a physical modeling one. So those were the 2 voices I really wanted. And I kind of initially started thinking 2 voices, that's enough. I'm gonna do 2 voices, that's it. But then I realized I have a lot of jams and tracks where I want a constant drone, usually like a bass drone. So I figured maybe if I squeeze in another oscillator here, like a traditional saw wave, etc. oscillator, and here comes in the 2 HB VCO. It's a 2 HB oscillator. I wanted at least 1 filter. I don't need that many really, but here's the Squawk Dirty. Does a lot of things. That's the filter I wanted. A friend recommended it to me actually. And then I figured I want another filter for the bass drone. So here's just some random 4 HB filter I threw in there. And then I need a sequencer that does generative things. I got the Bloom because I've tried marbles and it's great, but it's like I feel like if you buy too many mutable instrument things, you end up sounding like a mutable instruments guy. So I wanted to try something a little bit different. Same thing with, that's my sequencer. Let's go to the clouds. Same thing with clouds. I actually initially thought I want a qubit nebula, but they're pretty expensive and hard to find actually, especially used. And I found a really nicely priced clouds used, so I figured let's go. I'll just do clouds. Clouds is great. So that will be my granular and also reverb thing that I want. For the master clock, I went Pamela's Pro workout. It does so many things. It does so many things. It does sequences, clocks, triggers, gates, everything. So that's gonna be my brain. Envelopes, I found a really nicely priced clone of Mutable Instruments Peaks, so I bought that and figured, okay, I'm just gonna go with Peaks. It's great, also really versatile, does a lot of things. It can also do LFO and drum things. And speaking of LFOs, we got the CHD here, DivKit. It's just a classic, small footprint, a lot of functionality. Then I need attenuation. So here's the 3x MIA, which also inverts, so it's a attenuverter. And you can also like mix in CV signals. That's great. And then 3x VCA from Happy Nerding also for some VCA purposes. It's like I initially thought I don't really need VCAs because I'm not gonna go for very traditional things. But the thing about VCAs compared to attenuators is you can CV control them. So what I want this for is I can modulate my modulation. That's the thing with VCAs. You can have a CV and maybe tone it down a little bit, but you can also modulate it with another CV. So your modulation will also change over time, and that makes things interesting and evolving and all that. Effects. So data bender. This seems like a complicated, convoluted thing. It does so many things. I can't really explain what it does, but it sounds so good. Whenever I listen to somebody using it, it sounds so good. I want to try it. And then I also have the FX8 for just like general reverbs and that kind of things. And you need to sum all of this. So I have the Befaco stereo mixer here, ST Mix. So this was my initial plan. What happened though is this is the reality. So someone posted somewhere online, I don't remember really where, that Befaco One Roy is amazing, and now that they tried it, they want 2 of them. And I've been looking for like a standalone drone thing for a long time, and I wanted it maybe to be like Eurorack compatible as well. And then someone points me to this, and I'm like, oh God, yeah, this is, it's like, it's designed for me. So I just, okay, I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get rid of the surface. I'm gonna get rid of the data bender. And then I also needed to get rid of the VCA so I could fit this. But this also has a filter. So I probably don't need another filter anymore, especially since I got rid of the VCO as well. I'm gonna explain that in a bit. It does so many things. It's really a standalone synthesizer, really. It does other things than just drone, but it's a droney thing. So I got that. And then I found a 2HB play used actually for a really nice price again. And I thought, so if I only want to do like basic bass drones, then what do I need a VCO and a filter for, really? Because I can just sample my things for some bass drones and put them in the play. It's a 2HB sample player. It's incredible. So here we are. That's the changes I made. But now there's a 4HB hole, because I don't think I need another filter. I'm gonna get the Squawk Dirty. The One Roy has a filter, and samples are just samples. I can make them into whatever I want. I also don't need any voices. Probably not LFOs when I have the CHD and the Pamela. I actually found a Pamela used too. It's not the Pro, it's the new Workout, but that's fine. That's completely fine. So maybe give me some suggestions. Do you have any ideas? 4HB, what could I do? Another FX8? Probably not. Another CHD? Maybe not. VCA? 4HB VCA? There's probably a lot of 4HB VCAs. I could do that. That could be a good idea, actually. I think it needs to be either VCA, more envelopes, or some sort of modulation or whatever. But I think, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna go with. We'll see. Now let's jump into my actual rig, what I've got now. Okay, so here's what I've got so far. Let's talk about the case. So I want it to be compact, easy to carry. If I ever decided to do a show, go to a friend's place, a jam, rehearsal room, whatever. So I wanted it to have a lid, and this one comes with a lid. It also has a carry handle on the top, and cases like these are really expensive, like super expensive usually. But there's this company, a tiny small company in Italy, I think, called Ico Case. They are on Etsy, and these are incredibly cheap compared to the competition. It's still a lot of money, but that's just how it goes. It's always going to cost a lot of money. It came powered, so that's good. I didn't have to think about that. It's perfect. I love it so far. It's made of veneer. It's good quality, good craftsmanship. Highly recommended. Another thing I need to talk about is the screws. They look like this. They are called Nerlies, also made by Befaco. So they're like finger screws. Highly recommended. It will save you a lot of trouble and headache when you don't need to use a screwdriver. Just get them. Just get them. Another thing is I had the 4HB hole in there, and maybe somebody will say multiples. Man, you need multiples. And I thought about that, and I decided I'm not gonna do that with modules, so I got these instead. Also made by Befaco. It's like a star-shaped multiple thing. Compromise. It's good. It works. It's great. So I already have 2 voices here, 3 actually. I have all my voices. I have the mixer. I just got my parcel from Befaco that had the mixer and the one Arroy and the screws and the stars in it. And I'm ready to start properly learning the modules. I've played with them. I know what they do, but they have so many features, man. There's just so many features. Hidden features too. It's like if I had one thing to warn you about if you get into modular, aside from the cost, it's you need to be prepared to read some manuals. I mean it. If you really want to get the most of your modules, you need to read manuals. There's just so many things, and I think I'm gonna start doing that. And maybe I'll make learning a module videos, something like that. And yeah, that's my modular journey comeback so far. All right, hope you liked it. Have a nice day.